In the short term, the narrative is a good one. It's hard to argue against it, and you see there's all this green on your screens, and it is justified because the disinflation still has wings. We'll still see there's basically a lot of still things baked into disinflation coming down, whether that's goods deflation from China, whether that's shelter inflation in the U.S. All that's still going to come down for the coming months. So that disinflation story is strong, and the cracks. I mean, Steve just mentioned it, the cracks in the labor market. There's some, but they're not deep. They're not wide. So this is things look fairly favorable for monetary policy to basically take the foot off the pedal, allow risk assets to rally.
Well, you talk about a Goldilocks scenario. The market actually has every bit of porridge. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's just right. So the market positioning is so diverse, which means a number of participants are going to be wrong on this journey. Some still think we're going to reignite inflation, so the Fed's not done. Others are saying we're at this plateau for a while. And there's a view that the market's going to see something broken because the Fed's been too aggressive. So are you saying the outlier scenarios are both wrong at this point? The too hot, too cold?
I'd almost say they're all right, but it's the timing that's the struggle. So eventually, we're going to see that the disinflation story runs out of steam. But that's not today's story. That's probably not even the first half of next year's story. Probably second half of next year is when we can expect it. So in many ways, they're right. And there is financial stress in the system. It's building up. But we know that the debt profiles, whether it's U.S. corporates, households, has been termed out. So the pain takes longer to hit. So everybody's kind of right here, Karen. But it's all a question of timing. And for now, kind of the Santa rally prevails.
Yeah, and I get that, because as we've seen, and as I've learned to my cost over the years of kind of just to say, oh, it's valuation. Momentum will trump valuation almost every time in these markets until it doesn't. It's like, yeah, go with momentum rather than what the right valuation is, because people just get very excited, or people get very irrationally concerned at various points of the cycle. When does valuation come back into vogue to really matter? Or when do these longer-term issues you mentioned? Because at the moment, as I say, you can't really fight the moves of the market because it's got such impetus behind it.
I think we should also remember that there's a political dimension here. So imagine 2024 was just a normal, regular year. Then I would say, well, at some point, you're going to hit a brick wall because inflation kind of stabilizes at a level higher than what central banks have as targets. But given everything else that's going on, I think there'll be a lot more leniency in terms of looking past that and trying to focus on the cracks. What am I trying to say here? I think central bank policy will be easier than we'd otherwise have under normal conditions. And that's why there's this rally that's supported.